Right then, so let's have a look at what's happening with the weather, but not before we say good morning to the delectable Mama View Swabwaji.
Did you just say that?
Delectable.
Good morning. I like the sound of that.
Yeah, look,
Yeah.
you're looking
Okay,
great
say no
today.
more. Do your traffic.
Oh.
Yeah, me that say.
Right, well, let's see what's happening on our roads. And of course, let's start off with Ring Road, where this morning, uncharacteristically for a Friday, it's looking quite deserted. You would expect by this time it would have started to build up, but it hasn't. That's only good news for you. So get straight to it and get straight through it. Let's see where else things are kicking off this morning. Oh yeah, always good to have a quick look at the Tema roundabout before you hit the motorway coming towards Accra. This morning, uncharacteristically quiet, and I wonder whether this is going to be a running theme through all of our locations, but this is looking good. Yeah, and as usual, at the airport shell, you can see from the polo grounds that things are starting to build up. Not so bad yet, but it is beginning to build. But on the other side of the roundabout, it looks healthy. Okay, Gifford Road. And oh, looking quite nice. I think this is reasonable. It's shocking for a Friday, but it's only for your benefit, right? So get straight through it and get to work safe and sound. Maybe we'll do one more. There we are. It's the big one. We always end with this one. Of course, it's the Tetekwashi interchange, and once again, looking decent. Can't believe it. I mean, I came to work around 5 o'clock this morning, and I was shocked at how many cars there were on the road at 5 o'clock. They've all disappeared. Well, that's good for you guys. So, well, hopefully you can make a safe, smooth, and swift trip to work. Let's have a look at what's happening in the papers now. Yeah. And, well, Mama V, what have you got?
So I'm looking at the attacks. You know, today is World Press Freedom Day, and the localized report in terms of violations in our own country outlined in the center spread of the paper, just trying to catch up. But yes, we're about to review all the newspapers. I have the Graphic, the Dispatch, the Finder, and the Daily Statesman. So
I've got a few here as well. I've got the Times, the Daily Guide, the Observer, the Weekend Today, and the Herald. Okay, so for me, that's the order I'll be going in. Hello, robots. Times, Daily Guide, Observer, Weekend Today, and Herald.
Okay, let's start with the Daily Graphic newspaper. Front page, Achimota Transport Terminal Deserted, 800 vehicle capacity station underutilized. We did a story not too long ago. It's just the indiscipline. The drivers prefer to pick passengers along the road, the main road. But it's not their fault, is it? It's enforcement. You spend a lot of money to put up this structure, which has everything really, including a police station. And then you allow the drivers to do whatever it is they want to do. If you read the story, they say May 6th, which is next Monday, the Assembly and the police, the National Road Safety Commission, they are embarking on an exercise to get the drivers to pick passengers only from the station. So that's what the story.
And that exercise will last one day, I'm guessing.
Don't they always do it? They know that you come by it. You come there and come and stand there one day. Acha, 2 days. That's it. Okay. Also, still on the front page of the Daily Graphic newspaper, President Kart sold for Kumasi Central Market redevelopment project. Teacher incentive attract 10% tax according to the Ghana Education Service. Fishermen meeting turns sour. Okay, some of the agitated fisher folk at the news conference. Details page 16. Back page of the Daily Graphic, Health Center inaugurated at Wantungu is in the Tolon district in the northern region. And then Volta Regional Hospital elevated to teaching hospital. On the back of this story, there's a member of parliament, I think it's Benjamin Podo, who said, well, the NDC government did everything with this facility. The only thing they couldn't do was the inaugural ceremony. So they need to be credited for the hospital. the Volta Regional Hospital. It's now a teaching hospital, and it's the whole teaching hospital now.
Why? Did they use their pocket money to do it?
Center spread of the paper, the Daily Graphic. Professor Kakari calls for practical measures to stop media attacks, and there are some statistics by now. You know that we've dropped 4 places, right, on the World Index. That's because of a number of things that happened in our country. It's spelled out in the center spread of the Daily Graphic newspaper. 11 violations were direct attacks on journalists, and then it comes down to say that 6 of the violations were perpetrated by security agents, 7 were carried out by political party affiliates, 8 were by individuals, and 1 by an organized group. In all, 22 violations recorded. But we have a full-blown conversation on that. The Daily Dispatch newspaper, breakdown of 10 top ethnic groups in all the 10 regions. GCNet and its role in government's digitization journey. Accra Academy gets a 173,000 Ghana cedis basketball and tennis court. Speaker and majority leader clash over truant ministers. The Finder newspaper, I'll finish off with the Daily Statesman, but the Finder first. Front page, Kumasi Central Market Redevelopment Project, Otumfuo President Kasord for Phase 2. Peace affirms ace broadcaster Mamiefia Kunedu passes on.
So sad.
Yeah, such a legend. Yeah. UK Foreign Secretary hails Anas, others to mark World Press Freedom Day. Ghana's population growing 2.15% annually. And then the final one is the Daily Statesman newspaper. What accounts MP slum bizarre parliamentary probe of 349,000 Ghana cedis lost by trade fair chief executive under NDC. Operation Vanguard grabs 58 suspected galamseyers, but with all the issues surrounding galamsey, including what the senior minister said, I guess we're paying rather very little attention to the fight against
how many did they grab?
Right? 58.
58. Which country are we deporting them to?
If they are Ghanaians, where would we take them to?
Then we have to send them home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In exchange, what are we getting?
I don't understand how we can give foreigners more rights than Ghanaians. So if foreigners get sent home when they commit the crime of galamsey, then I guess we have to send Ghanaians home too, right?
Yeah, we'll agree with you. Precedents, Abby. Kumasi Central Project to help curb fire outbreaks. President cuts sword for Phase 2 of the market redevelopment. Okay, Kojo.
All right. Okay. So once again, Ghanaian Times Daily Guide, Ghanaian Observer, Weekend Today, and then the Herald. I'll start with the Ghanaian
again?
Times. Oh, they're friendly robots that work in the background, making things happen. All right, then. So the Ghanaian Times first, and war of words as 2 fishermen groups disagree over closed season timeline. A picture of the Minister for Fisheries and Aquaculture, Ms. Elizabeth Afolikwe, on the front page. I'll say a little something about that later, okay? Just one sentence. President Asantehene cut sword for construction of 248 million euro Kumasi Central Market. Set up independent committee to investigate assault of 3 Ghanaian Times journalists. That's also a story on page 15. And soldier cop, another, grabbed for robbery. Interesting story there. We had that on our news bulletin earlier this morning. Let's flip over the paper, look at the back page. ATU begins drone technology program, and Katariga gets processing plant from Japanese government. Okay, right. Daily Guide next, and front page. I'm on right track. And that's according to Nana, the president assessing himself there. Also, soldier and police arrested for robbery. Page 3 has all the details. Peace FM's Mamefia Konedu is dead. Oh, tragedy. NDC steps up cocoa politics on page 6. And Otumfuo investors Forum keynote speaker in town, and that's Dr. Ambassador Ty Edgars. Right, back page real quick, some sports stories here. Don't quit athletics, Semenya told. Those are her fans telling her that. McDan draws positives from ITF World Tour. Lenglet proud to lose teeth for Liverpool thrashing. Ochere and Amponsa dominate SA Golf. Right, okay, quickly, Ghanaian Observer, Akufo-Addo and Otumfuo unveil phase 2 of Kumasi Central Market Project. NPP eyes all 47 seats in Ashanti in 2020. Minister leads fight against filth in Medina. Return to work, Speaker cautions absentee ministers. And drama at Boang Ponsem's palace trial as lawyer comes under spiritual attack. Hey. All right, back page. FIFA General Secretary endorses Africa Women's Sports Summit. Happy Silva ignoring Barca links. And Chelsea unveil 2019-20 home kit. Looks good, looks good. And that's that. Okay, weekend today, real quick. African bridesmaid dress styles in Ghana. Not much looks African about the example on the front page, but there you go. Prosecute sanitation offenders. MP backs Lanma. Drama at funeral grounds as police stops family from burying corpse. And drinking spots take over Sunyani West. Finally, the Herald newspaper, banner headline, Deputy GCB Bank MD caught in age cheating as President Akufo-Addo sacks over 60-year-olds from government. Sami Auku fires back at Hajia Fatih King Kong after threats on Blay and John Bwedu and others. Bossed to construct LPG storage complexes. And that's it for the front page. We're done with the papers. Wonderful Game of Thrones picture ad on the back of the
Are you also addicted
Herald
to it?
newspaper. Ah, God, I can't get enough.
Yeah?
Game of Thrones is
okay,
fantastic.
I guess it's just me in Ghana then.
You haven't watched it at all, right?
I have, but I'm not sure. Well, I didn't really pay attention to it. Yeah. I think it's just the new season, and I haven't.
So you haven't been watching it from the beginning?
No, I haven't.
Then it wouldn't make any sense.
So
to you
I
at
didn't
all.
even continue.
Yeah.
I was just asking about the characters. That's it.
If you ever get like a holiday, you know, you have a week off or 2 weeks off.
Yeah.
You could do that, you know. Just get the whole thing.
I can't afford to be addicted to the whole thing.
Of course, but you finish it. We're alive, we're addicted and we're alive. Addicted and proud of Game of Thrones.
I was addicted to 24. I know what it did. Prison Break, I know what it did to me.
Go.
I don't want to start this one.
Game of Thrones is like that times 10.
Yeah?
You know? 24 is fantastic, by the way. I've absolutely loved 24.
I'll still watch my FBI.
But Game of Thrones.
Yeah, this is it, huh?
Ah, goodness, Mama.
Very soon, we will be reviewing Game of Thrones.
It's getting to that level, you know. It's getting to that point where there is so much love for this thing. It's a universal phenomenon. You know? But yeah, check it out when you have the chance. It's brilliant.
I will. I will try. No, yeah. Okay, what shall we talk about now, Kojo? You said you were going to talk about something in the...
Oh, yes. In the
Times.
Ghanaian Times, you're right. War of words as two fishermen groups disagree over close season timeline. So you will recall this, the canoe, canoe fishermen.
The close season.
Yes, yes. So the canoe fishermen were not very happy. Where the Ghana National Canoe Fishermen Council, they wrote a letter the day that the close season was being announced. And they said, we were part of this process and we agreed that we will close the season in July. Okay. So why are you now closing it in May? When did you make this decision and why were we not involved? We can't associate ourselves with this. And in fact, there was science behind the July closing. Okay, so why have we changed it to May? The July closing will give us better results. So why May? But apparently, while they were doing the press conference, other fishermen who have agreed to the May close season were very agitated, unhappy, and were complaining. Now, you know, we've talked about this, so I'm not going to, go over the whole thing again. But the important thing that I want to state is that both May and July are not the best times anyway. August is the best time. That's when the fish will spawn. In July, there will be very minimal spawning. As for May, there won't be spawning. If there is spawning, it will be an anomaly. You understand? Because the temperature in the water is not right. So if a fish decides to spawn in this month of May, then it's an anomaly. So it's a waste of time completely doing this close season in May. That's according to science, not me, not my opinion. Okay. Now, in August, when it is the best time, the fishermen don't want to do it because of their festivals, which is another shock to me. Because eventually, if we run out of these fish, then it doesn't matter.
So who is supposed to be taking the decision? Who is supposed to be telling who what should be happening?
The government has the responsibility to protect our natural resources. And these fish are our natural resource. It's not even about protecting it so that the fishermen themselves can get a trade. I mean, if they don't want that, that's their own problem. I'm not a fisherman, so if they lose their trade, I'm not affected. But I will be affected by the fact that an entire group of species have disappeared, including mackerel, from our shores. I will be concerned by that. Okay, we should be concerned. Look at what other civilizations do when even one species is about to go extinct. Look at what the Chinese and the Japanese are doing for pandas. Okay, so the Siberian tiger. Everybody is throwing everything at it to make sure that what God has created does not disappear from the surface of the earth. As for us, we don't care. Because of festival, we are going to let it disappear. That's what the fishermen want. They are arguing with science, and not with me. It's not my view. It's not my opinion. It's science, but they are arguing with it. So anyway, both groups are wrong. But the thing I wanted to say was that Miss Elizabeth Afolikwe, the last time I encountered her was at a Meet the Press at the Information Ministry. And she said something which I thought was unfortunate. She's a lovely lady. I think she's trying to do a good job. But she said something to me which I thought was unfortunate. I asked a question, as I always do. And she said that I seem to be very interested in the fisheries sector and what's happening there. I seem to have a lot of information, so there must be somebody behind me. I found that very interesting.
That was on record?
Yes, she said it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, into the microphone.
Okay, I missed that.
Yeah. I felt that was unfortunate. It's unnecessary. I mean, she's suggesting that I'm not capable of having.
But did you tell her
information? Well, I mean, she had the microphone. I had finished asking my question.
Okay.
I had finished asking my question.
Oh, so no, this was not your one-on-one interview.
No.
Okay, because there was a one-on-one.
Yeah, that was some days before.
Okay.
So this was at the Meet the Press.
Oh.
Where it was at the Information Ministry.
Oops.
I got up, I asked the question,
Oops.
and when I went back and sat down, she said this to me.
Oops.
So she doesn't think I'm capable of, acquiring knowledge unless there's somebody behind me. That's unfortunate. Because even she who is opening a closed season in May, nobody is telling her that there's somebody behind her. Well, whoever is behind her is not a scientist. That much I can say. All right, shall we move on?
Things I want to say, but I don't know if I should say. Yeah, I just want to, we should be excited when journalists have information and they're asking the right questions, which means that they're doing the right research. And even if they're talking to people, that's what you want. You want them to challenge you. Yeah, but hey. Okay, so center spread of the paper, we have a conversation, so I won't spend too much time on it because you're talking about press freedom, and we've read about what's happening elsewhere in the world. The celebrations will be in Egypt today, as in the world, just like we did last year in Ghana. Yeah. And Egypt is such a special story because last year they were not in the position that they're in this year, so they've turned things around. And it's interesting that in Ghana, we've dropped because we used to be also one of the examples. And in the center spread, the Media Foundation for West Africa is outlining the many things that has happened, and they put the figure in terms of the violations against media persons to 22, and there's a good breakdown of that. So I'll leave the full details for us when we discuss the issues. Yeah. But
it's interesting. I mean, this is something that we probably won't touch on in the conversation. But it's about press freedom. Okay, the freedom of the press to do their work. But the theme this year is also putting responsibility on the press. What do you do with that freedom? Okay, so we are trying to assess how the press facilitates elections and democracy. So today our conversation will focus on aspects of that. We're not just talking about how the nation provides freedom for the press, but what the press does with that freedom.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
so
even the theme is also linked to elections.
That's
so
right.
yeah. And we're going into elections next year. Let's do myjoyonline.com with the 2 minutes that we have left. Patrick Gomez, we're ready to do myjoyonline.com. Okay, yeah, there you go. Sec confidence, carrots and stick. Oh, stay with me, Patrick. Reforms will improve Ghana's capital markets. Jamaica Carnival 2019 was so lit. These photos will make you feel the fire. Oh, I thought it was about happening. I was going to say it would be good for Kojo to be there.
Oh,
And Elizabeth Hinohino writes,
you are a visionary.
Parting is such sweet sorrow. VRA award scholarships to 50 students. Ekofuadoka Sword, this is the Kumasi Phase 2 Central Market Project.
Now Phase 1 was here then?
Asante Hene orders reopening of newly built KJT. Okay, market. That's the Phase 1.
They are now ordering it to be reopened.
Maybe before it was the assembly, now it's your 2-4. So, okay, there are some sports stories. We'll leave all those, when we do sports right after this. There are many stories on myjoyonline.com. PIAC raises alarm over inclusion of 440 million Ghana cedis oil revenue in 2019 budgets. I've got a special birthday dedication. Doris Akumanyo Oklu is from your husband Mensa Oklu in Akachi. He says, happy birthday, Doris Akumanyo Oklu. That's from your husband Mensa Oklu in Akachi. And I thought just the last few seconds, just to say rest in peace, Mami Efia Kunedu, formerly of Peace FM. She died, according to the report, on May 1. I remember just one incident in her home in Adenta. I actually had to go to her bedroom to do a recording of a jingle. She absolutely loved the job. And I think she spent... Listen, I want to live and be like her, really, because she did everything in the media, from GBC, ended a Peace FM, retired happily, and lived,
What a career. And of course, she's made Ghana better for the work she's done, and that's what we all dream of, isn't it?
Yeah, she paved the way for many others as well.
Yeah.
Okay, stay with us. We've got sports, and today our sports team, they will launch the AFCON coverage, how they're going to dish it out to you. So look out for that. Stay with us.